This is just AMZN for Wednesday, March 27th, 2019. And I've got to look up at yesterday and today. Yesterday was basically a setup for the same move we had today. It's just crazy. So this is what I saw happening. We had a false breakout above the high or above the open, sorry. Well, no, not above the open, that's the open. All right, let me start that over. Let me try and draw that again. Okay, see if we get a little straighter. There we go. False breakout above the high. False breakout. All right, close enough. Above the high. A rollover to pretty much the low. Rollover, pretty much the low. A retest and rollover. A retest and rollover. Sorry for the squiggles. So false breakout, roll down to the low, retest, and a rollover. Today's rollover was a whole lot stronger and faster than yesterday's. That actually had a couple of curves in it. Sorry for the squiggles. I'm really not good at drawing that. But look where we ran down to. We actually touched 1747. And we were last down there just 2 days ago, almost touched it. Got a nice bounce off. What did we do today? So like the open of yesterday was basically the same open we had today. And then the bounce at 1747 2 days ago was basically the bounce we got today. Not as strong, but a clear level to have a nice bounce. And while I was driving and noticed that we were way down here, actually, when I saw, I think this candle break down or something like this, it's like, oh, this thing's going to run lower. And I was missing everything. And when it got down here, it's like, okay, let me see if I can set something up to get in. And looking at the calls, I was trying to get set up 8x7, and it didn't pull back into it. And then it didn't pull back into it. And then it did, but I didn't have the trade set up anymore to get in 8x7 here. But it's like I was just trying to buy that low at 1747, and it just moved before I could get into it. Was back above 8, didn't come back down to it. And then this, it went from 8 up to 12 on the nose, which was basically the same move from 8 back up to 12 that it did here. So you could have just totally had, 1206, yeah. Could have had that repeated twice. Had I gotten in 8, gone up to 12, 8 up to 12. And then on the rollover, here's what's crazy. So on this retest and rollover, so this was right at 10 o'clock. Looking at the puts, right at 10 o'clock, over here. We were between 5 and 6. You could have done 6x5. You could have done 7x6 right up here. There was a bunch of opportunities to get into this. And even right here on that retest, it pulled back into 10. You could have done 10x9 right here. Like, look at these lows. 10x9 would have been a perfect setup right here. And then doubled up to 20. But I mean, that's going from right here, right? 1020. 10:20 in the morning, and it ran up, doubled, going from here, getting in here, and getting out when it hits the next line. I mean, it's already shown it's breaking down. This was anybody buying here that thought, oh, it's not going to go down anymore. And that level was where we got into here, where we had first rolled over here and then got bought back up. So people who were buying here, maybe they were the same ones buying at 1765 today, maybe, I don't know. And then they got trapped. But you could have been aggressively trading this, getting in on any of these three candles, 10x9 on the puts expiring Friday, and doubled that setup, getting getting in here 10x9 up to 20, that's 10R. Getting in 6x5, somewhere down here on that retest. 6 up to 20 is 14R. I mean, phenomenal moves. And even this, we came in and consolidated right here at 10 and then moved up to 14. Again, like, where are we? Right here. We ran right up into this same level there, where this was looking to be some sort of support from the other day. Now is acting as this resistance because we broke through it. And this same level was $10 on the puts and moved up to 14, retesting this low. And this low was the same low on the call, 8, that I was trying to set up from the call, moved down to 1747. So the option price here was the same option price basically here that I missed, $8, which moved 8 to 12 and moved 8 to 12. And then the option price here on the put was 10, moved to 20, and then was 10 again right here, which was not very far off. I mean, that's only a few dollars away. It was 10 here instead of this one, which was like $10 away. It shows you how much premium gets sucked out of this thing when it's moving, or gets flown into it because it's it's moving so quickly. Anyway, the price here of the puts was $10, and again here was $10. This one from 10 to 20. This one from 10 to 14. Any of these. Amazing setups, amazing trade. I mean, you could have done any of them. You could have done 10 to 20. You could have done 8 to 12 and then 8 to 12 again. Could have done 10 to 14. I mean, if there was to do all of them, was that 10 to 20? So that's 10R. 8 to 12, that's another 4, so that's 14R. 10 to 14 is another 4, so that's 18R. And then again, 8 to 12 here, that's another 4R, so that's 22R total. That could have been 22R, just playing all of this, both directions. And you could have even done it from up here, which this was at 6, right? 6 instead of 10. So that's an extra 4R on that first initial move here, instead of just from right here. And this was, calling the rollover from the 21, which we were above it here. But we had the same, like I showed earlier, which I drew in, we had the same pattern of a false breakout, run down to the low, and then a retest off the low, or bouncing off the low and a retest rollover that rolls over. So that adding another 4R from 22, that would have been 26R had you done each of those perfectly. I mean, that would have been a great day to do 26R. Even if you caught half of that, even if you caught, 5 of that, even if you caught one of those moves and got 3R, 4R, I mean, that's a great day. And so, just watching how this thing sets up, just like the same pattern from yesterday, sets up in the same range that we ended yesterday. This was literally a continuation of yesterday's consolidation here. I mean, if I draw in the channel, I want to draw on the channel. There you go. If I just draw on the channel going straight across here, look how well that fits from where we bounced into this double bottom thing to where we opened and did, pull back, where we opened here, pre-market, and then where we opened here. We're totally range bound for, starting here, 1, 2, 3, maybe 3.5 hours of the open market, of the day tradable options market. That's phenomenal to have that kind of a pause there. So this shows we had some public participation into a accumulation that then turned into distribution and broke down again, just like it broke down the other day. So amazing patterns. All this stuff is, I don't want to say predictable, but I mean, some of these setups, they keep popping back in. So let's watch for some sort of a false breakout tomorrow to see if we can get above a high and then roll over and come into a low and bounce and then have another roll. I mean, let's look for that same sort of pattern because it did it yesterday and it did it today. I just say it won't work again tomorrow. If we come back in here, I guess you could call that a false breakout. Pretty quick one. rollover down to a low bounce, and then didn't really get as much of a rollover. So it didn't really fit here, but who knows? It could do something like this again. When it opened up, ran down, and bounced, and when I saw this open and we're just going sideways, like, okay, you just gotta wait on those, And then it's like, oh, look at that rally. Like, again, getting that feeling like, okay, some people are going to try and get this rollover right in here off the 21. It's like, no, this thing's going to run. It's going to keep going. And I got up here. It's like, we really shouldn't be above that high. Next thing you know, it starts collapsing. It doesn't even do it so quickly. It actually retests it. Like at one point, this candle was bullish inside, but bullish, ran up here, which was right in line with the first opening candle's high, really close to that. Then from there, rolled down and then retested back into that candle. So it's like a bunch of opportunities to get into this thing bearish. And again, with that feeling of we shouldn't be up here, this is the first place to look to short it. Shorting into that strength, shorting into the pre-market highs. I mean, that totally worked today. Didn't have the pre-market highs up here yesterday, but you had them today as really good signals, really good levels. And I mean, this is your first place to say, we shouldn't be up here. Let's go short, and it would have worked all the way down to 1747. I mean, literally from 1787 to 18 to from 1787 to 1747, a $40 move. What was the best way to trade that? Maybe getting in down here, 5x4. I mean, you're way out of the money. It's easy to do a $100 risk. From 4 up to 20, that's 16R. Let's see. We're already $10 out of the money on these. Do we get down to $10? Oh, not quite down to $10. Look at that. Into 11. If this had gotten to 10, that would have been easy. I don't want to say easy, but I guess easy. Do 10 by 9 from a false breakout like that. Like, look at this. We had 25 minutes of this pulling back. So that was, let's see, 25 minutes into this, and getting, if we had gotten into if we had gotten a little bit higher, and the 1775 puts would have been $10. I mean, look at that, going 10 by 9, and that goes all the way up into the 30s. So, I mean, that's 25R right there, just getting in down here and just letting it run. And, maybe would have been a little nervous here. Maybe would have taken some off. Or just, if you had more than one, that's what I'm saying. Taking some off. And then the rest of it you hold, and it pulls back. But, I mean, you can pull back into, what's the low here? 1240. Low here is 1315. You could have been buying 13 by 12 here in anticipation of this thing rolling over, pulling back a little more, rolling over. It held the lows from the earlier candles, 1230 here, low 1210 here, low 1240 here. So, this candle would have worked to buy 13 by 12. This one would have worked to buy 13 by 12. This one would have worked to do 13 by 12. This would not have worked to do 13 by 12. So, I mean, you got 1, 2, 3 out of 4 times buying 13 by 12 would have worked in the same morning. And we worked really nicely. And each of these would have, like this one would have been more than 20R. This would have been 25R. Amazing to see that kind of thing work out. So, look for these, and I hate saying look for these counterintuitive, counter trends, or counter what the current move is. But I mean, anytime this has been really, really rallying, it's like we shouldn't be up here yet. When you get that feeling, I mean, it's act on that with mitigated risk and just step back and let it go. And that was yesterday's false breakout. That was today's false breakout. Let's see if we get another sort of false breakout like that tomorrow or Friday. I mean, Friday would be even better, with option premium being so much lower because it's it's expiring the same day. So we'll just wait and see. Look for these key levels. Look for 1747 again. We've definitely got a downtrend here coming that we broke a little bit further away from. So I'm fine if this thing wants to rally. You know, like if we get up, let's see what's going to fit better. Maybe something like this. So if we can get up into 1775 tomorrow, you know, meet back up with some of these highs, I'd be okay with that, you know, on this downtrend, and then do a rollover, maybe. I don't know. What if I drew this as a channel? What is that channeling? So I'm just going to draw on the top of this and then pull below. Nope, that doesn't really fit anything. That doesn't. I don't think that does either. Well, maybe. Let's see if I zoom out. Does that fit anything? I extend this out. No, because I really want that. I'm just trying to see if there's something that we're moving downward with. I mean, if I grab those first two highs here and here, it doesn't really do anything. It interacts a little bit today, but that doesn't help anything. I'm still not even seeing lows. So there's something going on where we're just going sideways. We're consolidating. Just trying to see if there's anything that helps us frame this. So I'm just seeing some of a consolidation. Like this is definitely a lower high and relative low. So some sort of really large triangle that's got some strange angles to it. I guess the only other thing I am seeing right now as it sits is I've got some lower highs like this. Oops. Like that. I've got some higher lows like that. And so this was a triangle that actually broke down today, which is fitting. And this is the retest we got. And so I guess that fits if we get a retest back up into that breakdown location, 1775. If we get above 1775, I might get that feeling we shouldn't really be up here. You know, like that. Oops, trying to do that. This should act as some pretty strong resistance since it was such a strong support. And I just drew that at 1775. Okay. I think that's what I'm looking for tomorrow. Can we rally up above 1775 and then get a rollover? And by rally, I mean, can we even gap up and open up here, have a false breakout that collapses? You know, look for those key levels on the options, and we'll see if something like that works tomorrow. Look for 1775 tomorrow. Don't necessarily go short there. Just look for it to get above it, and then if it's getting above it, and it's like too good to be true to be bouncing, that's where it's going to make me nervous. That make me nervous. That's where it's going to be like, okay, this looks like it's playing right into a rollover, and I'd risk an R on that, you know, because the gains are massive if that's right. And if you're wrong, you're only down an R. That's trading. All right, so we'll be back tomorrow. See what happens. Hope you enjoyed this video. This is Justin AMZN. Thanks.